I'm very overweight Solana because I could see it survive the worst. The community was very active. And then they made some big tech breakthroughs with being able to mint 1 million NFTs for $100. And then Fire Dancer, which kind of changes the entire game again in terms of speed and cost.
Launched in 2020, Solana promised a quantum leap in the development of blockchain technology with unparalleled transaction speeds and a vision of a more scalable and efficient future. The Solana blockchain and its native token, SOL, has seen periods of success and formidable challenges over the past 3 years, from all-time high prices in 2021 to industry-wide disasters in 2022, as she sought to carve out a place for herself in the industry, the digital asset space, and marks its place as a rival to Ethereum. As we gaze into the crystal ball, Solana's trajectory for the year ahead appears optimistic, with plenty of opportunities for significant advancements. The past year has laid a solid foundation for Solana, laying the foundation for what could be a period of unprecedented growth and innovation. The investment potential of Solana is the subject of considerable debate within the cryptocurrency community. With its innovative technology and active ecosystem, Solana has attracted the attention of investors looking for the next big opportunity in the blockchain space. Determining whether Solana is a good investment depends on several factors, including risk appetite, investment horizon, and confidence in the platform's technological and business potential. Although Solana makes a compelling case with its innovative features and the enthusiasm of its community, investors must also weigh the challenges it will face to achieve long-term dominance. Solana's future prospects contain both promise and potential obstacles. The bullish argument rests on its proven ability to capture the market's imagination and mimic aspects of Ethereum's successful growth strategy. On the other hand, the bearish outlook raises important questions about the sustainability of its architectural choices and its untested leadership in the face of potential challenges. In today's video, we will tell you about Raoul Pal's view on Solana, as he thinks that there is a high chance we might get 20x to 50x with Solana. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. What happened in 2008 was a debt jubilee, where all the central banks said they would take rates to zero, so we wouldn't have to pay interest. Think about it in those terms, because there was too much debt. So all the governments in the world are readjusting their debt over a period of 3 to 5 years, which leads to this 4-year cycle, which is the same as the presidential cycle, and it's the same as the debt reduction cycle. The debt, today, everything is perfectly cyclical, and this will not change until we solve the debt problem. And once we understand that, we can see where the liquidity will go. Because if we repeat the same cycle, it gives us a vision of the future of assets. And if that's the case, then it's real code. What we discovered was that the use of the balance sheet by all central banks had only one purpose: to pay interest on the debt from the previous cycle. So they just devalue the currency in its purest and simplest form, which is why we all make so much money from cryptocurrencies, because they do their best. After all, technology adoption is necessary and a rare asset. So it works incredibly well when they fall. Liquidity therefore comes into play. Devaluing the currency is great. If we look at how the world works, GDP growth in the United States is 1.75%, when 100% of the government's GDP is in debt. In fact, it's more. If interest rates are 5%, that's 5% of GDP that has to pay interest. But growth only increases to 1.75, so we would have negative growth. But the private sector is in debt at around 100% of GDP and is therefore struggling to obtain the same GDP in order to pay the interest. Then something has to give. And what happens is that the government side finds itself in the balance. They do this on average about 15% per year. So they could have raised taxes by 15% to receive these payments, which is politically unacceptable at times like these. Instead, they simply cut the coins and debase the currency, and people don't realize it. They simply realize that the rich are getting richer because they can afford scarce assets, and the poor are being left behind, which also creates a huge political divide. Most people don't understand Solana's Fire Dancer. It's like they thought Solana's theoretical TPS was 65,000. Fire Dancer took it to 1 million, and it was built using jump ops. And the idea is that we can therefore use blockchain for high-frequency trading so that it can be used for all exchanges. And if we think about the FTX mess, we need exchanges on the blockchain. We need registered ownership of assets. DeFi is a great experiment that shows that everything can be settled automatically and contracts can be resolved. So that's coming. And it seems like after talking with Franklin Templeton, Fidelity, and JP Morgan people and BlackRock, they're working on it, yes. But there have been some setbacks as well. Australia tried to get its stock exchange on the blockchain track and announced that a group of people tried and gave up. Cryptocurrencies are a macro asset. It is driven by the same liquidity forces. There's a narrative that says it's fun, money on the internet, etc. And we found that even on a risk-adjusted basis, cryptocurrencies are 5, 10, or 20 times better. The main driver of this whole space in terms of private capital has been family managers. Since they have no mandate, they can do whatever they want. So we have seen and continue to see family offices being the driving force of the venture capital industry and the hedge fund industry. Institutions are still rare, so the traditional way, where a giant pension fund goes to Cambridge Associates, finds out what good hedge funds are, and Cambridge does the due diligence and then allocates them. It doesn't exist right now, so they don't have a way to do it, unless we have some kind of pioneers within the store itself. So it looks like big institutions of this type. We'll see more this time. ETF is good because we know there are many dishonest fund managers who know they can fool the risk manager by telling them we only own stocks. We don't know what Bitcoin is and what it is. They will. Many people will do this and eventually obtain the warrant necessary to do it properly. That's what BlackRock and Fidelity will do as they execute these broad wallet mandates and show the cumulative benefits of holding Bitcoin in a wallet. And then what they will automatically start doing is add 2% or whatever to the client's portfolio. Bitcoin itself is so disruptive and pervasive that it requires multiple posts. This cannot be the case. It's digital gold. It can't be that this is just a new system. There must be several different stories. We bring capital into the space to fund new projects, and that allows us to move everything forward. And the more capital there is in space, the more people will be able to build. So it's not optimal, but we need this capital from the fiat world and to introduce it into the world of cryptocurrencies to be able to create this new system that we all want. It doesn't matter when we go through the second cycle, Solana survived the worst, and the developers were very active. The community was very active, and then they made a huge technological advancements by being able to create 1 million NTFs for $100 and then license Dancer, which is again a game changer in terms of speed and cost. There are 110 million Coinbase accounts, and 6 months ago only 9 million were active. So according to the Coinbase guys, in normal activity, it will reach 35-40 million and the peak will also increase. So there is still a lot of money to come in. If the people who participated last time have this interest, they still have PTSD and will come back. The blockchain application layer will bring many other use cases. So thinking about this cycle, maybe everything is everywhere. Everything in one cycle, where people have different unlocks for NFTs or signups, or different unlocks for smart contracts and some other things. And they can use for everything from ticketing to real global assets. So it just depends on the scope of that application layer. If the application layer doesn't make much progress in this cycle, we will see a rebalancing and they will also issue options on the ETF. That's all for today. Let us know your views in the comments section below. And don't forget to like this video before leaving. Thanks for watching.